Beyond these walls, you can find a beautiful message hidden behind a mysterious beginning.
I felt a cleaving in my mind as if my brain had split.
A story about something so basic and yet so complex. So universal and yet so foreign.
Your brain is tearing in two, and I want to hear the edginess and the anxiety of that.
Jason Shelton, the director of Nashville's Portara Ensemble,
And
will lead this journey.
a little taller.
His group will help reveal a path that at times can feel awfully lonely.
This right here, the smile, says everything, right?
Right.
It's a path that Tanya Scott and Donna Carney have traveled together.
And I love her, and she loves me. Don't you love me?
I love you.
As sisters, they've always cherished their memories.
Who was on your side of the wall?
yo.
Michael Jackson.
Jackson.
And I was like, why can't I have Michael Jackson?
Even as a child, Donna loved drawing and painting, a talent she continued for decades.
When people come to visit her, she shows them her work.
A talent that in the last few years for Donna has changed.
Right here, the good is God. Right here. And it has an aura of it too.
3.5 years ago came the diagnosis that started Donna down the path she's now on.
I don't do it really ready.
Alzheimer's.
It took me a long time to even say the disease, say the word. And she was asking me all the time, what's happening with me? What's going on? And I'm like, I don't know.
I've been thinking about this a lot. Ah, here we go.
Much better. Just like that. Do that again in an hour, okay?
That's the story this choir is trying to tell tonight. They're used to all kinds of performances all over town, but this one is special. A journey through song, shining a light on a disease of darkness. And the singers carrying that light know what Alzheimer's means.
I was, I guess, in my 20s, and so, wearing a mini skirt or whatever it was, and she was stage whispered across the room, like, that girl forgot to wear her pants.
Long before Elizabeth Miller was a choir member, she was a granddaughter to Patricia Bernard.
She was funny, and she was just, even to the end, would deliver one-liners.
Years ago, Elizabeth watched as doctors listed off signs and symptoms and diagnoses. But even as the disease took hold, Elizabeth just saw her no-no.
There is a person and a family behind each one of these stories. And there is this grief and loss, but then moments of beauty.
Elizabeth's path led her to work as an elder care attorney.
In preparing her for her deposition as well, it's hard for her to keep it together.
Fighting for some of Tennessee's most vulnerable.
Each and every breath is precious. That's what it's all about for me, is just making sure that we send that message home. This is not a piece of paper, this is a person. Okay, I'm sorry.
But as Elizabeth would tell you, the thing about such a confusing, lonely disease is that you're never really alone.
It touched all of us in a different way. I mean, we all have dealt with it.
Sarah Chang's connection to Alzheimer's is as close as her photo album.
I love going through them sometimes.
From a time when pictures ended up in places other than a cell phone.
It's crazy. It's like, oh, yes, this is how it used to be, right?
20 years ago,
My college pictures.
Sarah volunteered playing guitar at a senior center.
They would talk about how much they loved music, how much they loved to sing. Good. I look the same, don't I? 20 years later.
Even back then, she could see the power that a few chords could hold.
It just helped me realize the power of music, you know?
It's the reason Sarah and Elizabeth are here tonight,
Who is that?
That's it.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's
and the reason Donna and Tanya decided they couldn't miss this performance either. Over the course of an hour, across 16 movements, an audience comes to understand the blunt honesty of Alzheimer's. We all have a connection.
It's very hard to admit because some part of the way we're in denial too, that this is really happening and she's progressively changing.
The choir sings of what Donna and Tanya know, the change of routine, the loss of independence, the heartbreak of it all.
It was painful for me. That's just honest. It's very painful to see someone that's experiencing that and can't communicate it.
But in the depths of this disease lies another truth, a triumph.
Who am I? Who am I to you?
You're my sister.
There's always a love story behind each one.
This is why we do what we do.
All too often, Alzheimer's takes away the words we use to express all that frustration and angst that comes with the territory. But this performance got a message across in a way words can't.
And the only way she could express herself was nodding her head and saying, yeah, like, you get it, you know. I think she looked at us a couple of times like, do you get it? And so, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
For a disease that begins as a strange new world, this performance ended with a song steeped in familiarity.
It was good. It was I couldn't do it. I remember I did it, and I said I was crying. I'm about to cry. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. Yeah.
While some may describe Alzheimer's as a disease of darkness, this is a choir that understands, in the end, there is light in love.
Love is unconditional. Yeah. I think that's the takeaway. Love is unconditional.
I mean, that's life right there. If you have love, you have everything, right?